A longtime junior hockey coach has been charged with sexual assault over an allegation that dates back to the 1980s. Bernie Lynch is in custody in Alberta now, facing charges of sexual assault and assault. CBC senior investigative reporter Jonathan Gatehouse has been leading our coverage on this story. He's live in Toronto with the latest in his exclusive reporting details. In custody, Jonathan, bring us up to date. What's the latest information?
Yes, good morning, Heather. We have learned that veteran hockey coach Bernie Lynch was arrested and, as you say, charged with sexual assault and assault. Those charges date back more than 30 years to 1988 when Lynch was coaching in Regina. The complainant was 17 at the time and a hockey player. Regina police first looked into these allegations surrounding this player back in 1997, but no charges were laid at the time. But that complainant recently came forward to the Regina Police Service after CBC News first reported back in March that Lynch had been suspended and then ultimately fired from the Fort Frances Lakers in Ontario. And that was for sending dozens of inappropriate and unwanted text messages and emails to a player.
You've been speaking, I know, Jonathan, all along to family members, players involved, the communities. What has been the reaction to word of these charges?
Well, I spoke with the mother of the player that was receiving those unwanted messages in Fort Frances and reported them ultimately to his parents, and then they were shared with the team. And she's glad that the police are taking a closer look at Lynch's interactions with players over the years, but also frustrated that it hasn't happened until now. Now, we're not identifying her to protect her son's privacy, but here's a bit of what she had to say.
I can't imagine how many lives he disrupted along the way. But I have to say, I am incredibly proud of the steps that my son took to put a stop to this.
Some of her reaction then, Jonathan, take us through. I mean, now that in custody, where does the story, where does the case, I guess, move from here?
Well, the Regina Police Service yesterday confirmed that the 66-year-old remains in custody in Alberta, where he turned himself into police over the weekend, and that he's going to be sent to Regina later this week as part of their ongoing investigation. He will then have to appear in provincial court, but there's no date for that yet. And we know that there is another investigation involving Lynch looking into complaints from his time as coach of the Edson Arrows in Alberta, where he was coaching between 2018 and 2020. Parents there begged the team owner and the league to investigate Lynch's conduct after players reported that he was very abusive verbally at times and would strike players. And when their complaints didn't go anywhere, as I said, they also reported them to the league and filed ultimately a complaint with the RCMP, who have confirmed to CBC News that they're now currently looking into the matter. And as for Lynch, well, he's previously told CBC News that he's shocked by all of these allegations, and he says that they're part of a smear campaign.
Jonathan, thank you. I know you'll be back with your ongoing investigation into this, and we'll speak again in the future and all of this. Thank you. For now, Jonathan's latest report is up online for you at CBCNews.ca on the front page this morning.